The start of a new era for the Catholic Church. Pope Francis celebrated his inaugural Mass today at the Vatican. Will his grand debut set the tone for his papacy? Here with us to talk about all of that and more is Francis Rocca, Rome Bureau Chief of the Catholic News Service. Francis, good morning.
Good morning.
I should call you Frank.
It might be better to keep things straight, yeah.
All right. So one thing I want to start with, the Pope's homily in particular today was, well, a far simpler message. Benedict gave us a long discourse, three-page discourse in Latin, and that's not what we got from the new Pope.
No, that's true. He doesn't make a direct reference to some of the more abstruse concepts that Benedict, in a professorial way, liked to talk about. That's true. Although I think there is a lot underneath that. There is a lot of learning that you could tease out. Yes.
Tease some of that out for us. What did you make of it?
Well, one thing that struck me, two things that struck me. One that I think was probably apparent also to everyone was, he did talk a number of times about the environment and the need to protect creation. And so that was striking. He said that the other day when he met with the journalists on Saturday. So environmentalism, in that sense, he's in continuity with Benedict, who, as you know, was called the Green Pope and who had introduced that theme into papal teaching. But one thing is, he used a word or some version in Italian of the word that was translated as protect in the official translation. He used it more than 30 times in a speech that was 1,300 words long, which is really more like taking custody of or being the custodian of. There's a sense of being a vigilant, of being a guard, like a guardian angel. This is the word that he kept using over and over and over again. And he said that's the job of all of us. We're all supposed to take care of each other in that way and guard each other, but also that's the job of the Pope. And I think that, again, that word has many facets, but I think there's that sense that he's going to be caring and tender. He talked about the importance of tenderness, even in a strong leader, but he's also going to be vigilant. And that was something that maybe didn't come across in the English translation, but I think that he's going to be vigilant, and he has a lot of things to be vigilant about. Okay.
Now, the Pope also continues to make lots of what folks are saying are gestures of humility, and another one that was interesting today, he rode in an open-air car as opposed to the bulletproof Pope-mobile we've all come to expect. What's behind that?
Well, remember also on Sunday morning after he celebrated Mass at a small church inside Vatican City, he just spontaneously walked over to the gate, and there were people massed on the other side on the Rome street. These people hadn't been vetted; they were just a crowd, and he started shaking hands, like a politician on campaign. I'm not saying he was being a politician, but I'm saying is with that kind of immediate contact with people, and I think that must be giving his security people a lot of anxiety, and will continue to do so.
Will they permit him to continue to do that, do you think?
He doesn't act like someone who's willing to be told what to do. Right from the very start. I mean, you think the moment the man was elected Pope, an hour later, he's standing in front of a huge crowd in the entire world. He immediately starts departing from Vatican protocol. He didn't wear the shawl that he typically would wear at that moment. He didn't get in in his own private elevator. He got in the elevator with the cardinals. He got in the bus with the cardinals. He sat down. He's been, from the very first moments, he's known exactly what he wants to do, and he's not willing to listen to anybody telling him, no, we do it this way, Holy Father. It's quite remarkable.
It is, and just to give folks some context here, in speaking about the Pope-mobile, maybe people like to joke about that, but of course John Paul II was shot when he was driving along, so that's why, I believe that's why they created the Pope-mobile in the first place, right?
Yeah, and like with any figure of this kind of prominence, there's no way to 100% to protect anyone. We remember that Benedict was knocked down by a woman, obviously, unstable woman, and a cardinal who was with him broke his, I think it was his hip. But he's taking more risks, I think, evidently, than Benedict did.
Okay, Frank Rocca, thank you so much for joining us this morning.